Factfulness is a book that was written by Hans Rosling. He wrote this book with the purpose of informing the world about the world. And as per the cover of the book, he explains to us the 10 reasons why we're wrong about the world and why things are actually better than we think. This book is focused on optimism, forcing people to think critically, question why they think the way they do, and how to change that. He does this all by focusing on the 10 instincts every human has. These instincts are all interconnected in why we have a distorted way of thinking about the world. This book brings up many issues that are getting better in the world, no matter how much the media and our minds are forcing us to believe they aren't. These are brought up within the 10 chapters of the book about the 10 overdramatic instincts that every human has, and hopefully, after reading, we will all have a more fact-based worldview. Optimism, by definition, means hopefulness and confidence about the future. This book is embedded with optimistic views and topics to provide a happier worldview to people who think so negatively. During the introduction, 13 fact-based questions were posed about the world. Throughout the book, they were used as examples for the instincts we all share in. But these questions had one thing in common. The most positive answer was always right. The media today forces us to believe the opposite is true. These 13 questions were answered by all different people of all different ages, with all different educational backgrounds. And the percentages of people who got them correct were extremely low. People are constantly assuming the worst about the world, but this book debunks the idea. Many things, from levels of education in lower income countries to the levels of electricity or the percentage of people in extreme poverty, have gotten better and are continuing to. This book focuses its attention on the positive in every situation brought up. This book not only tells you more optimistic facts about the world than you thought, it forces you to think critically about the situations and question why you thought so negatively in the first place. You begin to question almost everything you know about the world because the people providing us this news are providing us incorrect or fabricated information. We must think that even if the world is bad, it is getting better, and we need to better analyze these situations. Factfulness consists of an introduction and 11 chapters. 10 of these chapters focus on the 10 overdramatic instincts we all have that distort our worldview. After informing us of these situations, Hans Rosling tells us how to avoid falling into the trap of that natural instinct. These instincts include the gap instinct, the negativity instinct, the straight line instinct, the fear instinct, the size instinct, the generalization instinct, the destiny instinct, the single perspective instinct, the blame instinct, and the urgency instinct. Some of these instincts require more dramatic tendencies than others, but they all still distort our worldview. The fear instinct and the urgency instinct are some of the ones I believe to be the most dramatic. But Hans Rosling turns these situations around, and we get to see them in a more positive light than we expected, and we learn how to fight these instincts. The fear instinct is what makes us pay attention to unnecessary dangers. It distracts us with illogical things that people in lower income countries on levels 1 or 2 should be more afraid of. The media portrays the world as a terrible and dangerous place, which causes us to be more afraid of snakes and natural disasters than the actual risky situations that we may find ourselves in everyday life. The number of deaths in battle or plane crashes have decreased significantly to the point it shouldn't hinder us from situations. But this fear still causes us to make bad decisions. Our natural fears are not really the things we should be giving the attention to. The statistics are too positive for that. We are wired to give the wrong things attention, even if we're not exposed to them. The fears we have are due to historical faults, but our lives and our worldview are still shaped by them. The fear instinct is tied to the urgency instinct in a way, because the overdramatic fears we have cause us to act urgently when we don't need to. We feel like we need to act quickly to combat the thing that grabbed our attention. But this book informs us that when we do this, we are automatically assuming the worst, when things are not really that urgent, and we don't really need to be scared of them. We must calm down, take a breath, and analyze the situation and data, and then take action as needed. Throughout the book, we learn about the differences in the way we view the world as and the actual fact-based worldview we should all have. This is done through critical thinking and questioning about situations that seem negative and we react to in a common way, but they really all have optimistic outcomes.